This just in, Manitoba. The extreme cold just continues to hang on. It was even cold enough to freeze up part of my beard yesterday. When is it going to end? Will it ever end? We'll let you know starting now. Well, good afternoon, Manitoba. This is Justin with the Weather Center of Manitoba coming to you with another extreme cold weather update here on this February 11th, 2025. First off, we're checking out our satellite imagery as per usual. We can see here that we have lots of clear sky for the most part across the eastern prairies in Manitoba on our Tuesday afternoon. And after I finish drawing this, we can see that we have a high pressure system here sitting over much of the province of Saskatchewan this afternoon and also Manitoba, and this high pressure system will continue to build in and push southward throughout the next day or two. And that means the cold just continues to funnel in from the Arctic. And yeah, there hasn't really been much of a break. The temperatures across southern Manitoba right now at the time of recording this video at 2:20 p.m. are struggling to get much warmer than the minus 20 mark here across southern Manitoba under a mix of sun and cloud on this Tuesday afternoon. But yeah, as we see all this relatively clear sky under high pressure start to move southward over the next 12 hours or so, that just means that we're going to see another intrusion of cold air over cold air and more cold air over the next few days without much of a break. In terms of our weather warnings on this Tuesday afternoon, we see that we still have extreme cold warnings holding on across much of the southern prairies here, across Western Canada, including portions of southern Alberta, southern Saskatchewan, and southern Manitoba. No extreme cold warnings across the northern prairies, but I do think that will change over the next 12 to 24 hours, as I was just looking at some models, and we'll look at them in a moment. Areas across northern Manitoba look to be getting wind chill values between minus 45 and minus 50 over the next day or two. So I do think Environment and Climate Change Canada will issue some extreme cold warnings for the Churchill area and the extreme northern portion of the province. But for now, let's zoom in here on our extreme cold warnings here across the south. And same as yesterday, all of southern Manitoba is just inundated under red. And what this is showing is, extreme cold warnings continuing across southern Manitoba. We can get into the text right up here, issued at 4:30 this morning. A multi-day episode of very cold wind chills are expected. A prolonged extreme cold event continues over southern Manitoba, with most of the region experiencing extreme cold wind chill values of minus 40 degrees or colder this morning. And that will continue to be the story over the next few days. Some moderation, but still very cold temperatures. Well, wind chill values may moderate slightly during the day here on Tuesday. They are anticipated to return to the extreme level overnight, Tuesday night, into the rest of the week over portions of southern Manitoba. So, extreme cold warnings continuing across the south. Nothing new, but just wanted to share that with you guys this afternoon. Okay, looking at our wind chill values expected over the next 24 to 48 hours here across the eastern prairies. As we go through time, we can see that the extreme wind chills flood back in here across much of central, eastern, and southeastern Saskatchewan, and also across far portions of western and southwestern Manitoba. We see those extreme wind chill values of minus 40 to minus 42 coming Tuesday night, overnight into the early morning hours of Wednesday. And also another area to highlight here is, again, as I was talking about earlier, across the extreme northern part of Manitoba, including Churchill and points west. North of Thompson, we're seeing wind chill values nearing the minus 50 mark across northern Manitoba. So I do think some extreme cold warnings will have to be issued by Environment and Climate Change Canada later on in the day, so that our friends across the north know that there is these extreme wind chills headed for them for Wednesday morning. Again, wind chills near minus 50 up across the far north. As we continue going through time, we see that on our Wednesday afternoon, things moderate across the south for any teachers or school staff that are wondering, when can the kids finally go back outside? Well, there's a chance on Wednesday afternoon that maybe across southern Manitoba there might be enough of a temperature moderation that maybe the kids can get outside, especially across southeastern Manitoba and the Red River Valley, I think across western and southwestern Manitoba. It'll just be cold enough that the kids will still have to stay inside all day Wednesday as well. We continue to go and we see extreme cold wind chills returning to southern Manitoba and northern Manitoba as we get into Thursday morning. Wind chills between minus 30 and minus 40 across southern Manitoba. And we see once again here up around Churchill and the far north, wind chill values colder than minus 45 across northern Manitoba on Thursday morning. And then we do see those wind chill values moderate throughout the day on Thursday. And I do think Thursday will be one of the warmer days of the week where we see finally, and this is showing wind chill values between minus 20 and minus 25 across southern Manitoba. So teachers, Thursday is going to be your day to get those kids back outside, I think Thursday afternoon, and give you guys a little bit of a break. Kudos to the teachers and all the school staff out there that have been putting up with these extreme wind chill values and all these indoor recesses. You guys are awesome. Okay, so I want to show you that there is some hope going into the future that these extreme cold temperatures and wind chills will finally start to move east and southeast out of Western Canada as we get toward the end of this month. And this is a map from Ben Knoll here on X, Ben Knoll Weather. Thank you so much for this map. And we'll just let it replay here. And I want to show you, so this is right now, we see all this blue, but we see as we get toward February 20th, around the February 20th period, we see these extreme cold temperatures finally go stateside and move east toward Ontario and Eastern Canada. And there we go. We see this big surge of warm air as we watch this loop one more time here. And boom, right there, right around February 25th, we can see that we finally get more of a westerly flow here across Western Canada. That's going to be bringing a favorable weather pattern to bring us above seasonal temperatures going toward the end of February. So what I want to do is pause the map here as we get to February 25th. Okay, we're paused, and now you can really see this. We have our westerly flow, warm air coming eastward off of the Rocky Mountains. And finally, we're getting into a nice weather pattern that would favor above seasonal temperatures across BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and finally also reaching us here in Manitoba. You can see all this dark red, and that is showing well above seasonal temperatures in the lower atmosphere by February 25th. So there is a glimmer of hope, Manitoba. We got about another week to week and a half with these extreme cold temperatures, and then finally toward the end of February, toward the end of this month, we're going to see some above seasonal temperatures returning to Manitoba. A nice warm up, I'm thinking, starting around February 22nd and especially happening around February 25th of the month. So just hang in there, Manitoba. The warm up is coming, but for now, cold, cold, cold. That's all we have to talk about. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great day.